You may have heard about the Blocklet again and again. Let's take a closer look at Blocklet. Blocklet is application, or components that build applications. Technically, developers can implement anything as Blocklet, from a simple website to a really comprehensive application. It could be the backend of the mobile apps, or it could be a pure web service, or a pure computing service. When we say develop decentralized apps on our block, it's actually develop the blocklets on our block. Blocklets are software components. They can work with each other and together form a very powerful application. You can imagine blocklets are just like Lego blocks or tangram pieces. Each of the blocklet might be simple, but if you combine many of them together in a correct way, you can build a really complex application. The way blocklets works together is also very flexible. Blocklets can communicate with each other with pops-up messaging system and also share data within the apps. In the software industry, when we talk about components, usually it means reuse. Blocklet components are reusable, and we really encourage blocklet reuse in many different ways. With reusable blocklet, software developers will no longer need to reinvent the wheel all the time. Instead, they can create a reusable blocklet across their different projects, or even they can use blocklet created by other developers. That makes the collaboration between developers, between teams, much easier. Reusable blocklet will significantly improve the productivity of any developer teams. Some of the software components are so common, and they may be useful for all kinds of applications. For example, almost every app will need some level of user management, authentications. Another example is a payment. A lot of applications may need payment. Similarly, the team management, the user notification, the messaging, they are all very common components. We create a set of this kind of a reusable blocklet and include them in the ABT node. We call them Blocklet services. Essentially, Blocklet services are common blocklet components that is available across the system by default. Blocklet Marketplace is where you find more blocklets. You can find all kinds of blocklets. Some of them are full applications. You can install and run them out of the box. For example, a personal blog or a photo album. Some of them are customizable applications. You can simply customize the application by changing the configuration and run your own instance. There are, of course, blocklet components. You can reuse them in the new applications. Blocklet Marketplace is building features of the ABT node. Just imagine the Blocklet Marketplace is just like app stores, but for blocklets. Managing blocklets from ABT node is really simple. It's just as simple as install and manage mobile apps. Developers can publish their dApps, their reusable components, as a blocklet to the marketplace and let others to use them. Our block provides a default Blocklet Marketplace for the convenience. But the Blocklet Marketplace in ABT node is fully decentralized. This means you can have as many as Blocklet Marketplace as you want. Not necessary to use the default one by our block. And anyone can run Blocklet Marketplace, because the Blocklet Marketplace itself is just a blocklet. Within a few clicks, you can instantly install a Blocklet Marketplace on your ABT node. So you can have that for your development, or you can have that for your own team. Blocklet scales well with ABT node. For simple applications, or just for test, you can run multiple blocklets within one ABT node. But for more serious applications with many users, you will be able to distribute the blocklets within multiple ABT nodes. Depends on the different applications. Some of the blocklets are long-lived applications. They keep running all the time. Some of the blocklets can be on demand. They only run when the user needs them. ABT Node is a runtime environment for Blocklets, so developers only need to focus on developing the Blocklet itself. They don't need to worry about how to deploy and scale the Blocklets, because ABT Node is designed to help them automatically. The simplest Blocklet is just a web page. You can use your favorite web framework or static site generator to create the Blocklet. ABT Node also supports automatic deployment for the Blocklets, so you can easily make it into your automatic publish or continuous integration scripts. So whenever you change or publish the Blocklet, it can automatically deploy it to the ABT Node. This will be very handy for web-based Blocklet. Our art block websites are built on this way. So in this year's developer conference, we actually prepared a session to walk you through how we use GitHub Actions, how we use GitHub and GitHub Actions to create the Blocklet for our own website. Blocklet could also be really comprehensive. As we say, technically, developers can build any application with Blocklet. And because Blocklets are components, usually a complex Blocklet is just a combination of multiple Blocklets. Developers can develop all those by themselves, but more likely they're going to reuse some Blocklets by others, and we encourage them to do so. Blocklet can also more than web apps. It could be a server-side web service, it could be the DNS server, it could be the IPFS gateway. Of course, it could be blockchain nodes or API service for blockchain nodes. So the possibilities are limitless. Blocklet development is easy, and we want to make them even simpler. We created quite a few examples, demos, and we also open sourced some of our critical Blocklets for developers. Simply go to this Blocklet repo in GitHub. You can browse all those demos, samples, and open source projects. For all those Blocklet repo, we implemented Open in Gitpod. You just find out that Open in Gitpod buttons or Open in code space. So you can one-click to open the project in the Cloud IDE, so you don't even need to install your own development environment. You can immediately try that from those Cloud IDEs such as Gitpod or GitHub Codespace. We usually also have automatic build script in each of those projects, so you can just clone it and play it on your own. We also have install ABT Node button in the README, so that allows developers to quickly change, experiment, and build their own or play those Blocklets demos on their own ABT Node. In this year's developer conference, we have several sessions that is dedicated for Blocklet development. If you want to learn more about Blocklet, surely check them out.